You know that moment when you open your investment app and instead of bracing for bad news, you notice something subtle but powerful. It actually grew. Not because you deposited money, not because you worked overtime, not because you got lucky on some risky trade. It just grew quietly in the background. And for the first time, you feel a shift, a calmness, a sense that maybe this whole wealth building thing is real. Most people believe wealth begins at $1,000,000. They imagine that is the point where stress disappears and options expand. But the real shift happens much earlier. It happens at $20,000. And it has almost nothing to do with lifestyle. It has everything to do with acceleration. 20,000 is where compounding stops being a theory you read about and starts becoming something you can see inside your own account. When you are building from zero, every dollar feels heavy. Saving your first 1,000 feels like dragging a stone uphill. You track expenses. You say no to short-term comfort. You skip dinners and delay purchases. And progress feels invisible. One unexpected bill can undo months of effort. One emotional purchase can erase discipline. At this stage, wealth building feels fragile. This is phase one. Force. You are doing all the work. Every gain comes directly from sacrifice and behavior. And here's the uncomfortable truth. It is supposed to feel slow. Because mathematically, it is. If you invest $1,000 at 8%, you earn $80 in a year. That does not feel life-changing. If you invest $5,000, you earn $400. Still modest. So your brain concludes that compounding is overrated. It feels like everyone else must have some secret strategy. But they do not. They simply survived this phase long enough to build a base large enough to matter. And that base for most people begins around $20,000. $20,000 invested at 8% produces $1,600 per year. That is over $100 per month, appearing without you trading time for it. For the first time, growth becomes visible, and visibility changes behavior. Humans respond to feedback loops. When effort produces noticeable reward, consistency becomes easier. That is when you enter phase two. Momentum. In this stage, your contributions still matter deeply, but they are no longer alone in carrying the weight. Imagine you were investing $1,000 per month, earning an average of 8% annually. Reaching your first $20,000 may take roughly 19 months of consistent saving. That is almost 2 years of discipline. But once you hit that level, your next $20,000 does not take another 19 months. It might take closer to 17 because your original $20,000 is now generating returns alongside your monthly deposits. Nothing about your behavior changed. The only difference is scale, and scale compresses time. As you move towards 60,000 and beyond, the intervals shorten further. Your money begins to handle a growing share of the climb. When your portfolio eventually reaches 400,000, earning 8%, that is $32,000 per year in growth. At that level, a 20,000 increase can happen in well under a year without you increasing effort. The same milestone that once required nearly 2 years now unfolds almost automatically. That acceleration feels dramatic, but it is not magic. It is arithmetic applied consistently over time. This is why the 20,000 rule matters. Not because it makes you rich overnight, but because it marks the moment where compounding becomes tangible. The investment vehicles are usually the same for everyone. Broad index funds, diversified portfolios, retirement accounts. The difference is not exclusivity, it is mass. A 10% return on $2,000 is $200. A 10% return on $20,000 is $2,000. A 10% return on $200,000 is $20,000. Same percentage, different impact. And this is where psychology deepens. When you have no cushion, your mind operates in scarcity mode. Every expense feels threatening. Every decision feels urgent. Long-term thinking becomes difficult because survival dominates attention. But once you accumulate $20,000, your nervous system begins to relax. You stop thinking, how do I make it to next paycheck? You start thinking, how do I optimize the next decade? You shift attention away from tiny spending decisions and toward major leverage points like housing, income growth, and asset allocation. That shift in focus compounds just like money does. Your relationship with work also changes. When you live paycheck to paycheck, your job controls you. You tolerate environments you dislike because you need income immediately. But with 20,000 saved, you gain optionality. You do not have to quit, but you could. And that subtle difference changes posture. You negotiate more calmly. You evaluate opportunities without desperation. You consider strategic risks. Often that composure leads to better assignments, higher income, and faster wealth accumulation. This creates a feedback loop. Money builds confidence. Confidence improves decisions. Better decisions build more money. But discipline at this stage becomes critical. Many people reach 20,000 and expand their lifestyle too quickly. They upgrade cars, stretch into larger apartments, treat the milestone as permission to inflate spending, and momentum slows. 20,000 is not a trophy, it is a foundation. Every major purchase after this point should be filtered through opportunity cost, not in a restrictive way, but in an intentional way. The $30,000 car is not just $30,000. It represents what that capital could become over 20 years invested at 8%, potentially well into six figures. When you internalize that comparison, decisions become clearer. You stop asking, can I afford this? You start asking, what am I trading for this? Interestingly, once compounding becomes visible, your desire to signal wealth often decreases. Internal trajectory replaces external validation. Driving a reliable car feels strategic. Living slightly below your means feels powerful, because you understand you are buying time and freedom invisibly. This is phase 3. Gravity. Eventually the slope shifts. The boulder no longer requires constant pushing. Growth begins to outpace contributions. Some years your portfolio grows by more than you personally invested. That realization reshapes your perception of work entirely. But gravity only activates after cresting the hill. And for many disciplined builders, that crest begins around $20,000. If you are early in the journey and progress feels slow, understand that compounding always looks unimpressive at first. Its curve is deceptive, flat in the beginning, then gradually rising, then steepening dramatically, but only for those who remain consistent long enough to experience the bend. The 20,000 rule is not about becoming wealthy instantly. It is about reaching the point where mathematics starts visibly rewarding patience. Once you experience that first organic month of growth without effort, something internal locks in. You no longer wonder if compounding works. You know it does, because you have seen it operating inside your own account. And that certainty changes everything. Compounding did not suddenly get faster. You simply built enough mass for it to move. And once it moves, the slope begins to tilt in your favor. Now here's the more thoughtful part, and it's the piece most people skip because it sounds less exciting than returns and charts, but it's the real reason 20,000 matters. 20,000 is not just money, it is margin. It is breathing room. It is the space between a problem and panic. When you have no margin, life feels like a series of small cliffs. A flat tire is not annoying, it is a crisis. A medical bill is not inconvenient, it is a threat. A slow month is not a dip, it is a spiral. And when your life is structured like that, your decisions become short-term by necessity. You choose certainty over upside. You choose comfort over strategy. You choose the option that reduces anxiety today, even if it costs you freedom later. That is why people in scarcity often make choices that look irrational from the outside, because the goal is not optimization, the goal is relief. 20,000 creates enough margin that you stop buying relief and start buying progress. You can let a problem be a problem without it becoming an identity. You can make a decision based on what is smart instead of what is urgent. You can wait. And waiting is a superpower in finance. It means you do not have to sell investments at the worst time because your car broke down. It means you do not have to accept a bad job because rent is due. It means you do not have to swipe a credit card because you are one surprise away from zero. This is also why 20,000 changes your investing behavior. When your financial life is fragile, you are far more likely to panic sell, chase hot trends, or take desperate risks because the pressure is constant. But when you have a buffer, you can be boring. You can let markets move without it feeling personal. You can stick to the plan through downturns because you are not relying on your portfolio to cover emergencies. And boring is where compounding lives. The people who win long-term are not usually the most brilliant. They are the most consistent. So the real rule is not just reach 20,000, it is protect it like your nervous system depends on it, because it does. Build simple guardrails that keep you from accidentally breaking your own foundation. One guardrail is separation. Keep your emergency buffer in a place that is safe and boring, And keep your long-term investments in a place that is hard to touch impulsively. Another guardrail is automation. If saving requires willpower every month, you will eventually lose. But if saving happens by default, you only need willpower for the exceptions. Another guardrail is defining what the money is for. 20,000 is not spendable. It is not extra. It is the thing that turns your life from reactive to designed. And once you treat it that way, you begin to build something deeper than a portfolio. You build identity. You become the kind of person who has margin, who thinks in decades, who measures purchases by opportunity cost, who understands that freedom is not a feeling you buy, it is a system you build. That identity is what keeps compounding working for you, because the enemy is not the market, it is lifestyle creep disguised as progress. The moment you hit a milestone, the world will offer you a reward that looks like success but behaves like a tax. Bigger car, bigger apartment, bigger monthly payments, more fixed obligations, less margin, less freedom. And then you are right back in force phase, except now you have nicer things and the same stress. The more mature move is to let the milestone buy you calm, not consumption. Because calm creates better decisions create better outcomes, and better outcomes compound. This is the quiet path. It is not flashy, it is not viral. But it works. And if you can reach 20,000 and keep it intact while continuing to invest, you will eventually reach a point where your money does not just grow, it starts to carry your life. Not by making you rich, but by making you stable, then flexible, then free. And that is what people are really chasing when they chase wealth. They are chasing the feeling of not being cornered. 20,000 is the first time many people step out of that corner.